Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Damontae bringing you a banger. Don't forget to go follow on my Twitch, please. Here you will never miss out on daily Payday content. What are you talking about, Damien?
Into the Dockyard, gang. Keep an eye out for security and cameras. Go. You're in. Now, hunt down key cards. 2 of them. I guess offices are your best bet. Good. Make the cops think twice about coming in here. That's the alarm, guys. Screw the key cards. We're pulling the gate. File is close by. Drop a signal flare, and he'll drop the C4.
File here. They're in 3. Full throttle here.
Don't be a dumbass.
A crowbar. Good find. Always useful. The train's ready for the cargo. Check the wagons. Probably loaded. Might find something worthwhile. And here they are.
Drop it, cocksucker.
Living like the farm life.
Rust! Come on, follow me! Follow me now!
They're deploying SWAT units. Get ready to
Hey,
face some
Rust!
heavy
Follow
firepower.
me! Shit!
The
It's
cops open the
over!
entrance gate.
Hands up.
Hands where I can
Hands
see
in
you!
the fuck.
Rust these out.
Cocksucker.
Hey!
Get
Whoa!
down,
Follow me!
motherfucker.
Be there in 2 minutes. Split clouds here.
Give me some fucking drugs. ASAP.
See you in the prison medical ward.
Drop the gun. Hands in the fucking air. Drop it. Drop it, cocksucker. Fuck off, punk-ass taser.
Looking at both pinned.
Fucking dozer. Killed the bitch ass.
Undercover counterfeit collide. Wait, what you talking about, Wokes? Talking about a heist and shit?
Taser. Nail, punk. Now, bitch ass sniper dead. Yourself.
Remote regions. There you go.
Drop it, cocksucker.
Man, Wokes is learning.
Smoke everywhere.
Down below. I'm dropping the package. Package over. Good luck out there.
And that's why Wokes is the best in the world.
Help yourselves. Now plant it on the dock gate.
Motherfucking dozer. Piece of trash, dozer. Wolf, follow me now.
Jiro! Follow!
The Moretta. That's our girl.
You know what side it is?
C4's all done. Now let's blow the gate. Looks like Sand is there.
The shield.
We gotta get this ship moving. Let me think. Alright. Just hack the ship control terminal and make sure it stays on. That's it, guys. This will take some time. Just make sure the power stays on.
Whoa! Follow me! Hey! Whoa! Come on, follow me!
It was up, my man Beach. Well, first, they would never go to videos for tips. Secondly, how should I start off as a new player? Depending on what playstyle you're really wanting to play is dependent on what perk decks you'll be starting with.
Cops are at the power box.
So if you want to play aggressive, you probably just go for Anarchist, Stoic, and Leech, right? Like whatever your video is will tell you, basically. If you want to be maybe a little bit better at the game, check something like Armorer, maybe. Rather than just like jumping into Anarchist. Instead of jumping in instantaneously into Stoic, maybe like try some other tanky damage reduction decks like Sociopath, Infiltrator, maybe even mix with some crew chief. You know what I'm saying? Like just there's multiple options. Is what I'm getting to.
Don't be a fucking
You don't have to just go for
punk ass dozer.
Anarchist and Stoic. Like every video is basically going to tell you. Because unfortunately, that's what you're going to be shown and told. You want to be kind of, a dodge player, there's multiple dodge ways to play.
Bitch ass sniper.
They don't exactly what Dark had just said. I forgot to mention it, but that's what I was getting to. Don't just run immediately Stoic and Anarchist, but that's what everyone's going to recommend you do. I guess pretty much every video is going to recommend you do. But what that's going to do is that when you get into the later points in the game, like let's say a couple hundred hours into the game, or maybe even 1,000 or so hours into the game, and you start getting bored of the game because all you're doing is playing the best perks, right? So then you feel like, oh, I want to change. I'm going to switch perk decks. Well, then you switch perk decks and it's like, oh, well, this sucks. I'm going to go back to Anarchist. And then you switch back to Anarchist, right? Or you'll be like, oh, well, this perk deck's trash. I'll just go back to Stoic. In reality, all the perk decks are very, very strong. It's just everyone will always recommend you the best and the best things in the game that will basically taint the way that you play everything else. Something like Anarchist doesn't need downtime. Something like Stoic doesn't need much downtime. While all the other builds in the game have an armor regen, passive regen, or some other form of a healing ability or something that has downtime. Well, those two perks basically are the outliers. You're able to just push practically everything at any time because those two perk decks uptimes are through the roof. While something like the Armorer is able to compete with the Anarchist, it's just played completely differently. It's able to, survive similar damage values, but it's just underneath passive regen. So you have to do, you have to play cover, you have to kill the enemies that are according that's going to be shooting at you, target prioritization, etc., right?
Drop it, cocksucker.
But it's, if you want to just go Stoic Anarchist, go for it. It's just, that will kind of not be the way that you'll want to change from when you get into the game later. You'll realize how strong those two are compared to like whatever else you play. Like if you're gonna be Stoic and then you switch to like Muscle, you're like, oh well, Muscle's trash. In reality, Muscle isn't trash. It's just Stoic is absurdly stronger than it. Now, something like a Sociopath versus Anarchist, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna find Anarchist players rather than a Sociopath player. But Sociopath is like equal strength or even stronger than the Anarchist. It's just mostly people will play the Anarchist because it'll hold your hand basically. You don't have to do much and the perk deck is keeping you alive. So, in you know, in perspective, if you're not really learning how to survive, like with armor as an example, which is passive reach-in, or you're not learning how to survive with like a crew chief or a dodge, setup or something, or an ex-president's HP armor reach-in, like you're not really going to be able to learn much if you're just running the best things. Now, obviously, if you're having trouble doing death sentence, perk decks like Anarch and Stoic are probably your best bet. But at the same time, if you're a new player, as you just mentioned, just go for whatever you want, man. You're not going to be playing death sentence, obviously, so play whatever perk deck you feel that you think looks cool. And then after you start learning the game a little bit, then pick what you feel is more as to your play style, which every perk deck has a play style. In reality, every perk deck is good. I agree. And you just need to learn how to use it. Mention Anarch and Stoic getting nerfed or removed. Like half the DSOD players are going to Death Wish. No. As long as if this is how they could nerf Anarchist. Instead of it having as much armor as it has in the suit, remove a good portion of it. Still keep it in the 100 armor, maybe like 130 instead of 158. You know what I'm saying? Remove some of its armor value so that you can't get 3-shot Anarchist. That could be one of your methods of nerfing it. Secondly, removing 2 seconds. Straight up remove that shit that doesn't even need to be in the perk deck. That is what every Anarchist player, that's their crutch. They have to rely on that basically, right? Remove that. The next thing you could do, which would be take your damage reach in and knock it up a 0.5 second. So instead of it being a 1.5, make it a 2-second reach in. Instead of being an odd kind of reach in, you have 3 regions running in that deck, including Bullseye. Pretty much will always have some form of armor, right? So if you just give yourself a slight increase to the armor reach in, then it's not going to allow players to play so aggressive. If you don't allow the players to have insane amounts of armor inside the suit, they're not going to play as aggressive because they won't have 3-shot armor, as an example, without crew chief. If you remove 2 seconds, as the other example was, is that you won't have every goddamn player in the game play it, because guess what? You've literally got armor with 2 seconds. Armor was the one that originally had it. Bringing Anarchist with armor is just silly. You've got, its first card giving you that, if I'm not mistaken. And then Stoic's in a weird spot. Because if you nerf it, it might become like really bad if you nerf it. And it really just depends on how you nerf it too.
Come on, piece of trash. Punk ass sniper spotted.
Because like any way that you attempt to nerf it is going to tremendously hurt the perk. But at the same time, it's like so much stronger than all the other perks that it is like it'd be necessary enough to do it. Yeah, 10-second cooldown on the flask is kind of fast, isn't it? Make it a 15 or 20-second. You would just have to do a lot more killing. And best Saw player. It's like they're literally open, or they're literally marked.
Whoa! Follow me!
Come with me.
Start in the water,
Wolf, come with
GTX.
me.
Aw.